So dear students, today I'm gonna tell you that how I became fluent in English and how did I learn this language. So it's not that I'm from convent school and from some Hindi English medium background, and the thing is that I just came from middle class background where English was considered to be a language of the of those people who came from English medium school, and those who spoke English, they used to take airs, and it was not my cup of tea. You can say that though I had a love for this language, a passion for this language, I loved this language very much, but I had no sources to learn this language. Back in those days, it was we had no access to technologies and all, so that is why it was a kind of what should I say, that it was a kind of dream for us to speak in English. But I remember that when I was 7 or 6 years old, I used to take my father's Pitman's dictionary, and I used to learn all those words, and sometime I used to take my father's Pitman shortened book also, and I just used to take that book with me all the time. The words of those books or sentences of those books were all Greek and Latin to me, but I just pretended to read that book thinking that I'm reading it, and I used to pretend that I'm reading it all the time. I used to carry that book in my hand. So I had a passion for this language, for speaking this language. And after school, what happened, that this passion of mine, it didn't work well, and it took a backseat, you can say that, because it so happened that in one period you are not going to learn anything. So in a school we used to have only one period in English, and it was not possible for us to speak in English in that particular period. But I remember very well that my English teacher, her name was Lily Patrick, and she used to be, I was a great admirer of her. I used to love her, the way she spoke and all. I used to imitate her, the facial expression, the way she talked, the way she behaved. And one day I remember that she had given us an, assignment, you can call, that she told us to write an article on the topic that was the importance of English. And there my chance, I just started working on it, and I just wanted to prove my work fabulous. And for that, what did I do? That I started collecting essays, words, phrases, difficult and artist words, from magazine, newspaper. I didn't even realize that the words which I am connecting or collecting, it's going to work or not, it's going to be the right in that particular context or not. I didn't bother for that, and I collected those words and make my article fabulous one. And I still remember the day she slipped into the classroom with a folded copy in her hand, and I could understood, this is the mine paper which I have submitted. And when she came into the classroom, she started looking at me, and what happened, I started feeling butterfly in my stomach. And I could read between the lines her facial expression. That's, one more second and I'm gonna prove to be a very good student in the classroom. This is going to, give me so much compliment on all. And suddenly she was like, Rekha, ye tumne likha hai? I said, I couldn't reply. I said, yes. Then she said, where did you get all these, bombastic words? And what is the meaning of this word impeccable? I was speechless. I couldn't say a word. I was thinking that she's gonna praise me, she's giving a lot of compliment to me, but instead she was rubbing it on my face, and I couldn't say a word. I just kept quiet. But later on she made me understood, she made me realize that using words in their right context is always very essential. And at the same time, if you're able to convey your words with simple word, simplest word, you need not to use, complex words or difficult words to, make it, to make understand people. So it was one incident which remained with me all my life, and I learned a lot, from this thing. Another incident, you can say that, when I went to the college, I changed my medium from Hindi to English. And I remember the first day when I just stepped into the classroom, I found that all the students, they were gossiping, they were laughing, talking, all of them, they were talking in English, and I was really nervous. And that day, somehow I managed to give introduction of myself by saying 2 or 3 lines. Another incident I remember that, when one day, what so happened that I was late for the college, and because due to the problem in my cycle, I used to go by cycle. And as I reached the college, already the class had begun, and the teacher, she was asking me the reason for coming late. And I was like, ma'am, my cycle air puncture. At once I realized that I really messed up with my words, and all the students, they were laughing at their sleeves. And this was the very, embarrassing moment for me, you can say. And then I started realizing the importance of learning this language and speaking this language, and I started, working on it. Later on, when I realized that, this is the language which I have to speak, I have to work on this language. First of all, I need to understand the nature of the language, the nitty-gritty of the language, then I have to work on it. I started working on it. And after I came to know the process, and the process which I'm going to adopt to learn this language, I started working systematically on this language, to learn this language, And when I joined ELTI, that is English Language Teaching Institute, they learn phonetics also for 6 months. So when I joined that institute, we used to work together, and that institute was quite far away from my house. You can say that it took almost 20 minutes to 25 minutes to reach to that institution. So what I used to do, that I used to write at least 10 words, and while on my way to that institution, I used to read those 20 words or 10 words. And after reaching there, we used to discuss, we used to talk a lot, we used to speak a lot English, without caring that people are laughing at us, they are making fun of us, and they are mocking at us. We never ever cared for us, because most of us were housewives, and we used to discuss about the daily routine, the household chores which we had done from morning till evening, our routine and everything we used to talk, and that helped a lot in learning this language. So that is why I just want to tell you that first you need to understand the nature of the language. Once you understood it, it's become very easy for you to work on it.